Hey, how you doing? My name's Ryan, and today I'm trying out Lego photography, something I've always wanted to do. Are you just trying to... okay. So ever since I've added lights to my Lego modular buildings, they've always kind of reminded me of miniature sets. So I figured I'd give it a try and show you guys some tips along the way. Let's get right to it. The first tip is lighting. Lighting is the great equalizer of video and photo, in that even some of the best cameras, if they have lower levels of light, will take really crappy photos. So one of the easiest ways to get good professional lighting is using what's called a 3-point lighting system. A 3-point lighting system is made up of your key light, your fill, and your backlight. The key being your main source of illumination, the fill being what helps reduce shadows and add ambient light, and the backlight being what actually is sort of the main set illumination behind you. So actually when I shoot vlogs, I use a kind of modified version of a 3-point lighting system. I have a ring light on my camera which acts as my key light. Here's it on, here's it off. You can tell a pretty big difference. There is a lamp to my right that kind of acts as the fill, just kind of adding some extra ambient illumination, and there's a lamp behind me that acts as my backlight. However, in shooting these modulars, I really don't want as much ambient light because I don't want them to overpower the LED light kits. So I might even try 2 different versions of shooting where I do one in the quote-unquote daytime and one in the quote-unquote nighttime with less light. The second main thing you want to focus on is the camera itself. I'm using a DSLR camera or a digital single lens reflex camera for 2 main reasons. One is the interchangeable lenses. I really want to have as much control over the focal length as possible when shooting these photos. I really want that nice shallow depth of field so that anything, let's say 3 studs behind the subject, is out of focus. It'll look really nice that way. And the only way to do that is with an interchangeable lens and being able to control the focal length. For the lens itself, I'm using a 50mm lens, often referred to as the Nifty 50, for its versatility and use of portrait photography. Now, this shallow depth of field effect can be accomplished with an iPhone using portrait mode, but you have very little control over your focal distance. It's kind of set at one thing, and it just doesn't look as good as a DSLR camera. And speaking of control, using a DSLR camera, I have a greater control of various other elements such as shutter speed, ISO, and aperture. I can essentially get the look that I want. Now, you might be thinking, if I just shoot in auto, it'll look fine, but auto can't read your mind. It won't be able to tell exactly what you're looking for and exactly what look you're going for. So always shoot in manual. It's just better that way. The third and final tip I want to share with you guys is staging, kind of the mise-en-scène, if you will, of these shots. Okay. I want to take photos that have some interesting foreground and background elements. I don't want to shoot up against flat walls, and I want to be able to highlight the lights so that they're either in the foreground featured or they're heavily featured in the background with this gorgeous bokeh blur effect. So once you have good lighting, a good camera, a good setting in manual mode, good lens, and a good eye for what you want to shoot, it's time to take some really nice pictures. I think these photos turned out really, really well. I will say I wasn't the biggest fan of the daytime shooting. I think it just kind of looked flatter and not as artistic as I expected. However, when I lowered my light settings, reduced the ambient light in the area, and allowed the modular light kits to really shine, I got some really gorgeous results. So if you have any lighting kits or any LEGO sets you want to photograph, minifigures included, try using these tips of lighting, camera, and placement to make the best photos you can. I want to give a big thanks to my wife Lindsay for giving me a helping hand in this vlog. And as always, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching. Yay!